everything. So I'm going to push, I started the record here. The weird thing is when I want to go to share screen like this, what I want to do, well, let's see if this works. All right. Can you all see the document up on the screen right now? It's got a 0 in the left-hand corner.
Yep.
All right, just so you know, I sent this out yesterday, but I know a couple of you had said, I don't know if you weren't in the class last semester, it could have been Grace, it could have been somebody else, but this has got the instructions on it for going out to Balsamiq and doing the installation. This is the key, this is the license name. There is a space there, I believe. This is the key, and you've got to put it in exactly like that. I explained to you where you put it in, how you put it in, etc. I show you where the 2 mock-up assignments are that you have to do, etc. Today I want to go over this a little bit later, but not right now. But notice these are due, again, along with the Unit 4 labs, no later than 4:25 p.m. this Friday. And unless you can get your stuff down into a 5 meg size, you're going to have to put that stuff out on GitHub, all right? And you're going to have to give me an invitation for it. There's just no other way. And if the stuff, I'm going to be grading the stuff this weekend. So if it's not in there by then, you know, you're just not going to get credit for it, all right? One thing we've been told to do is let students know exactly when assignments are due and do the best you can to turn them around as fast as possible. So if I get 10 of these assignments in on Friday, then my plan is to have all 10 of them graded and back to you by Monday. All right. On Monday, again, we're going to start on this more advanced resume app. Be ready to do a lot of coding because there's a lot that you're going to have to do. I'm typing it in myself. Now, if you look in here, too, just so you know that there's an article right here. You can hopefully see it on the screen. It's under tutsplus.com tutorials, and it's called Easy Version Control with Git in Android Studio. You may or may not be aware, but if you are in Android Studio, you can. It's fairly seamless to get that going with Git. That's the plan for what we're going to be working on, the project that we're going to be working on starting next week as a class. That's first thing. Second thing, let's see. All right. Right now, I'm going to ask a question, and if any of you have ever had this problem before, please let me know if you were able to fix it. All right. Right now, I can't run Android apps because it says when I try, it tells me the emulator is already running, even though it's not. All right, so it says if that's not the case, go into a directory, and it tells me to go out to, where is not there? I mean, it's got a weird path to it, and it says to remove some lock file. So I went out there, found the lock file, removed the lock file, got out of Visual Studio, got back into Visual Studio, or I'm sorry, into Android Studio. Ran the program, same thing happened. Got out of Android Studio, totally rebooted the system, you know, did a warm boot. Still gave me the same problem. The reason that I'm telling you that is twofold. First, if anybody's had that happen to them and they've been able to fix it, please let me know. And number two,
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
I think we're looking at the wrong page. Are you showing off a page? Because right now we're looking at the final project, part 1, Word document.
All right. Now what are you looking at?
I still see the final project, part 1, Word document.
All right. Well, let me just put it to you this way. Everything that I'm about to tell you, you're going to get emailed today. All right. Thank you. I appreciate being kept up. But let me just tell you this. So I'm going to read it for you. It's not long. It's your next assignment that is due a week from Friday. So it is due on Friday or a Thursday. It is due let's see, this week, this Friday is the 27th. So it'll be due on the 4th, the 3rd, I should say, Friday, the 3rd of April. I'll send this out to you. But I want you to do two things. First, I want you, I think I mentioned this yesterday, to go back to the rock, paper, scissors example. All right. And I want you to go back and redo it so that now you're going to add your own styles in there. You can add a theme if you want. I want professional looking images, image views, etc. So that's one thing. The other one, and I wrote the program for it, but I'm not going to assign it until I know it works. The other one is an example of a recycler view program. All right. And as soon as I can run that and get it to run and do what I want it to do, I will send you the the exact requirements for that. All right. Hopefully all that made sense, but I got it on a piece of paper here. As soon as I can get this to run, all right, then I will send out the assignment number 4, which again will be due Friday, the 3rd of April. So a week from Friday. Speaking of a week from Friday, and it's what Christian, I think it was, just brought up. All right, I've completed part 1 of your project requirements. Now, is that what's on the screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So this final project is going to be worth somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 points. So as you'd guess, it's worth a lot more than most of the stuff we've done, or maybe even, if you added up everything we did all semester, I don't know. But there are going to be 4 parts to it. This is part 1. Part 1 is due Friday, 4/3/2020. This first part has 2 components. First, and I know some of you tell me, geez, I hate to write. Well, tough noogies. Create a 1 to 2 page, you can do it more if necessary, but I would think you can do it in 2 pages, Word document that details what your final app will be about. You may have some idea, but you might think, well, I think I'm going to do it about this, but I'm not sure. Put it down anyway. As it says right there, this will be a living document. All right. I expect that it will change over time. I'm sure that it will change over time. All right. And as I say right after that, if you don't know where to start, you can go to the Google Play Store, and I gave you the URL for ideas. But, probably if it's anything of any magnitude, you might want to have a dumbed down version of it. What I don't want you to do is just copy what somebody else did. All right. If you can use it as a starting point or a template, but I want this to be your own work. Then as it says there, if that's not your thing, I just Googled like 20 best app ideas yet to be created. And this was one of the URLs that came up from Vivity.com. All right. And it's called 20 plus best mobile app ideas to create in 2020. All right. And, maybe you don't need any of that. Maybe you already know just exactly what it is you're going to create. And that's just fine. All right. Okay. It says, note, this part of the project is worth 150 points. So please don't slough it off. All right. My first degree is an English related degree. So I'm going to look at it. And if it looks like you spent 5 minutes on it, that'll be reflected in your grade. That's not at all meant to be a threat. It's just that you've got about 10 to 12 days to work on it, so it should be decent. All right, as it says, spell check it. You might want to use, maybe you've seen that commercial for Grammarly. All right, you can put your document in there and they'll give you suggestions, but it should flow pretty well. This is one of those things I'm hoping. One of the first year students asked me this morning. He said, "Hey, how is your class going to do their final projects?" if they have to do them online. I said, that's a real good question. It's one of those to be determined things, but I'm hoping we can still figure out a way to do that. And if that's the case, then this is one of the things you're going to show all 4 parts of your project. All right. So part B, create a beginning Balsamiq Mockup 3 wireframe of the project. Again, it's a living wireframe. It will not be a final project. All right. As it says, it should have a minimum of 3 screens, activities, and a maximum of 10. I can't imagine you wanting to do a project with 10 screens unless you're doing some kind of a game that's going to have levels or something like that. All right. If you go through that Balsamiq creating a mobile application project that I assigned yesterday, it shouldn't be hard to do this because they go through exactly what you're supposed to do in there. And I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I've gone through both of those assignments. So if you go out here, I've got 5 different URLs because I did those assignments, or that assignment you have on creating a mobile app with Balsamiq in 5 parts. All right. The longest is probably about 20 minutes. The shortest is probably about half that. So I don't know exactly how long it is. Things that we're going to keep in mind that we would like to ideally include in this last app include styles, themes, intents, recycler view, databases. All right. And it says more given later in class. All right. If you have a doubt whether or not it should be in there, it should be in there. Now, if you say, well, I'm doing this, this, and this for my project, there's no way I could use a database, then we'll have to talk about that. That's fine. All right. So by the end of the period today, you will get both this thing right here with the final project requirements, and you'll get your next assignment. All right. So I didn't mean to bring anyone here under false pretenses, but at the same time, that's what I had, because we were going to work on a project, but I'm not putting it out there when I can't run the project. All right. So that's all I have. So please continue to work. I'm going to stay online here. The meeting will stay up, but if you start to drop off, that's totally fine. All right. And I will be on here till 4:25, and I will be, or until everybody is gone, and I will be working on trying to fix this. All right, once I get it fixed, not if, but once I get it fixed, I will send it off to you. And I still plan on meeting tomorrow, and I still plan on having us do something as a class tomorrow. All right. Hopefully there aren't any questions over what I just said. But if there are, I'll be glad to entertain them. Or again, you can just email me with any questions you have. But this is the equivalent of you walking in the classroom and me saying it's a lab day, because that's pretty much what it is. Are there any questions? Going once, going twice, gone. All right. So you're on your own. Again, have the 2 Balsamiq assignments done by the end of the week, and make sure that your Unit 4 labs, that was the one with 3 of them were in there. There was the mock-up form, there was the rock, paper, scissors original one, and there was the the currency converter. So please have those turned in by Friday. All right. I'll let you know next week, but this institution, Rankin, is being very different, for lack of better words, when it comes to how we're taking attendance. I don't want to let too much of the cat out of the bag, but let me just tell you that it would be in your best interest to make sure this week you turn me in something, even if it's only partially complete. All right. And with that, that is all I have.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
I did not receive the email yesterday for the Balsamiq assignment. Can you resend that to me?
I will resend it as we're speaking then. Is there anyone else who did not receive it? All right, if you find out later that you didn't.
Oh, John Young said that he didn't.
All right, let me double check because I want to look on here because
I don't think anyone got it.
Okay. Let's see. Well, it says URL for recording of today's AWD1112 class. And of course, the URL doesn't look like it's on there, but the two documents are. I will resend them all to everybody. You should get them in just a minute.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Are you able to see the chat right now with all the other students?
I can see the other students, but I can't see the chat now.
Where you're sharing your screen on the bottom bar, there should be a chat option, I believe. There's a few people asking stuff in there.
All righty. I have to literally close. Let's see. Can I go to more? Can I go to chat from here? No. All right. I got to close virtually everything I've got open before that bottom screen will show.
Okay.
And it is still not showing.
Where you were doing the share and record buttons, that type of stuff?
Now they're not there right now.
All right. Can you try hitting Alt H then? That's the hotkey for us. Did that show up anything?
Yeah, it does. I guess it's got the chat. So let's look at what's in there.
Okay.
Hopefully there's nothing in there anybody said that they'll be sorry they said. All right. Are we on the right document? I can only see the final project. Someone want to ask him? I would, but I don't have built in whatever. Mike, I don't get it. I didn't receive it either. I have how to register with Balsamiq, but not the assignments. All right. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now, hopefully that's pretty much everything. What I'm doing right now is I am creating an email, and on that email, I am adding everything. So on that email, let's see. All right, I'm going to send out now, and you guys will have to all tell me. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're all in there. All right. And there should be 3 documents, one called Easy Version Control or Get Version Control with Android Studio, one that I just call what.docx, and that's the one that's got all the steps for Balsamiq and your final project. All right. And I'm going to just include myself on there too. All right, that was just sent. So let's see. It shows me as receiving it. All right. The rest of you, please check, because if otherwise there's something screwy going on. Did everyone get the folder that I sent yesterday with the different Balsamiq documents in it? Is there anyone who did not get that?
I see it.
All right, like I said, that's what I just sent. It's got the URL for the lecture yesterday, and as attachments, it's got that version control document, Get in Android Studio. It's got the document with all the Balsamiq steps, and it's got the final project requirements. Is there anybody listening right now that did not get those? An answer using your voice.
You have to manually open up it. There should be like an attachment on the email or something.
The emails are all just attached as Word documents. You should be able to right mouse click on them and just save them someplace, and then you should be able to open them up as long as you've got the ability to open up a Word document. So I'm asking the question again, is there anybody who's still listening that did not receive that email?
If you click on the paperclip in the corner at the top of the email, it brings up the attachments. I couldn't see it at first either.
Okay, well, I mean, that's how I've always been sending you stuff. That hasn't changed. So again, is there anyone still listening who is not able to look at or see those 3 documents? All right, then once again, that is what I have. So we will pick it up there tomorrow. All right. Thank you.
All right. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.